Hey, everybody. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place to be for tips, tools, and strategies to help you build a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today, uh, we're going to be looking at something here. Okay, bear with me. I'm trying to get the clubhouse people in here. I want to make sure that I did this correctly. Okay, so we're just going to start one from scratch, seeing as that didn't work the way I wanted it to. I'm going to start a brand new room. So, welcome everybody. And let's do this.
Hello, everyone.
Mary, I am trying to get Clubhouse in here. I
Oh,
set
okay.
it for 10 o'clock, but maybe I should have set it for 8. I don't know if the
Yeah.
time change was um, you know what I mean? I don't know if it was going by California time, Central time. I don't know.
Oh, because I set it up for 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
No, 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 not here.
Mm.
Clubhouse.
In Clubhouse. Oh, okay. In the app.
Yeah, so Clubhouse, I set it for Central time, but I couldn't get over there.
Oh, that's
So,
right. You're in Texas.
right.
I'm in Pennsylvania, and TJ, you're in New York. You know we're live, guys.
Oh, we
Well,
are?
yeah,
Okay.
Yes. So
we are,
welcome,
but we're
welcome,
playing with tech.
welcome.
And I
welcome,
can't forget the Clubhouse
welcome
people.
to Biz
Oh, the
Chicks
clubhouse
TV.
isn't live?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's going to be live as soon as I get in here and figure out what I'm doing.
Well,
Okay, well, we can chat while we're doing. Oh, I forgot. I'll be right back. I need my water.
okay. Well, how about we welcome
Yes.
the audience?
Yeah,
Welcome,
we did that.
everyone, to Tech Life Weekly. To BizChicks TV, this is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here with Tech Life Weekly. We're coming to you from all over the United States. I am coming to you from Pennsylvania as opposed to Sacramento, California. My colleagues are in New York and Texas. So we having some time we're all in different time zones. And it's kind of hilarious because we're trying to set up a broadcast on different time zones. So bear with us. We just want you to know that we are going to be talking tech in English today, and we want to welcome you to the conversation. How you doing this morning, TJ?
I'm good. How are you?
All is well. All is well. We usually start with this day in tech, but I think I'm going to skip that for now and come back to that when Fran
Yeah.
comes in. And I'm going to talk about this particular um, phenomena, I would call it, that I found online concerning training your dogs. You know, I always like to um, talk about things that are sort of hold on, let me get this right.
Offbeat.
Well, sort of neutral, like just things to help around the house or help make life easier. So in this case, I'm going to be talking about um, the fact that they have come up with a, how you have your Xbox, your game player thing. Well, they've
Hmm.
sort of come up with something similar to train the dogs, and they and they
Train
use
them. Train them for
help themselves
jobs.
train themselves to feed themselves
Oh, okay.
for obedience.
Right.
In this case, this particular program trains your dog for obedience using your TV and a feeder. So if you will allow me, I'm gonna share the video.
Okay.
So I'm gonna add that to the stream, And I just wanted to give you some background about what we'll be talking about here. Let me go in and start the video and make sure it is on full screen.
Games console for dogs. Yep, really. It plugs into your TV and it's called Go Doggo. I would have gone for Xbox. I've come to the company's headquarters here in Copenhagen, in Denmark, to meet Leo and Louis and Falca. They've all been testing the device for years during its development, so we'll see how well they respond to it. Here's how it works. The main console contains a little carousel of treats. The presenter on screen issues commands like sit or lie down.
Doggo, sit.
And two image recognition cameras analyze what your dog is doing, one in the console and one off to the side. When the dog does what it's told, it gets a reward.
Good boy.
It starts off very easy. The dog just has to approach the TV when it's called. The next level requires the dog to make eye contact with the front-facing camera. From there, it gets increasingly difficult with the dogs having to sit or lie down on command.
Down.
Obviously, this isn't something you can just plug in and expect the dog to understand. So I chatted to Go Doggo founder Hannah Yama to ask how much a dog would need to be trained to get started.
The dog does not have to know anything up front. We have developed this together with dog trainers. The dog will understand that it gets the treat in a certain area and that it has to be there in order for the treats to come out. And then we build on that.
Is there a risk here that you're encouraging your dog to interact with your expensive television and potentially, jump up at it or something?
One of my dogs, the first time we tried this at home, he jumped a little on the TV. So at that point, I thought, okay, maybe this is really not a good idea. But as long as the treat dispenser is placed so that the dog will not be able to reach it, and you are with your dog the first times you play it, then they will not do it.
How much of this is the dog responding and how much is guesswork?
There's a lot of guesswork, but it's still okay because it is still stimulating. Sometimes the dog will find a way to trick the system. Perhaps he or she will find out that if I take my hind legs to one side, then I can trick the camera to see me as if I'm doing a sit. And that's perfectly fine because what we want is for the dog to find out how to get the treats out. It doesn't matter exactly what it is doing.
It's impossible to say whether the dogs I saw play with the console really understood what was going on or were just trying a combination of sitting and lying down because they worked out they would get treats if they did. But Hannah told me that didn't really matter as long as the dogs were being kept occupied and stimulated.
This is not instead of the stimulation that you give your dog by training it. You should always do that. This is the owner-independent mental stimulation, which is important for other things like building self-confidence and learning how to take initiative so you get less anxious. And I also believe that they enjoy it. All the dogs, they look as if they are enjoying it.
So
I see the benefit of that if you're working all day and a lot of pets are at home and they chew up things, so they it gives the pet something to do. Actually, a dog in this case.
yeah, I
cat
just
was like, you ain't tricking me with that.
so I thought that was kind of interesting.
It is.
Just like an added tool, especially when it comes to obedience.
Yeah.
Learning to, when to lay down, when to stop, when to, move forward, that kind of thing. It
Right.
seemed like she was given some basic moves in the video,
Mm-hmm.
and the dogs were responding to that.
Right.
It just made sense. And I thought it was a fairly simple system. Little camera, a little video, and a feeder. So, sometimes we just need to sit down and just figure out, okay, how can these things that we already know about work together to
Mm-hmm.
make life simpler?
Right.
It didn't look complicated to me. Did it look
It was
complicated
simple.
to you?
No.
Yeah, it's a real
Nope.
basic system.
So-
So that was what I wanted to share with you today. I did want to remind you that Samsung is coming out with their threefold, with their what do you call that thing? Their new phone, their Galaxy
Oh,
phone.
the fold.
Yeah, the Galaxy phone is coming out, and the
Sorry.
folding one, Galaxy.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay, because I wanted to comment on the dog thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Before we go, go I know you have a dog. I was wondering why isn't she saying
Well,
anything?
no, the dog thing is because you gotta train the people. It's not
Hmm.
so much the dog, it's the people. So
Right.
you have to make sure you're doing your part about putting a treat in there and setting everything up and doing everything for the dog to do. Because then you're going to have to come back after the dog has learned everything on the video. If you don't teach the dog to lay down and do all the stuff that was in the video, it's going to be pointless.
And,
Right.
and that's what they said in the video, that it doesn't replace the actual interaction you're supposed to be having with your dog. You know what
Right.
I mean?
I see. I like I said, I see that as if you're at work and the dog. You don't have someone coming to get the dog or whatever, and you want them to be occupied. I see that.
I do
And
too.
you know what they didn't answer, which occurred to me, was what happens when you're at work and the dog has eaten all the treats? Does the video shut off? Because
Good
that
question.
that could be pretty frustrating for the dog. Wait a minute, there's no treat. Did you just train me that something's supposed to happen here when I lay down or when I roll over or whatever? So I thought that was interesting. I'm sure that they have some kind of automatic shut off
Mm-hmm.
when you get the last treat out,
Right.
since everything's, operating by artificial intelligence. I hope they programmed that in, because yeah, your TV might be in trouble if they don't get the response they're looking for. Well,
Okay. So
mhm.
meanwhile, back at the ranch, Samsung's got a folding phone. I know I've seen
Ye-
the ads for it.
yes, they got a folding phone. Let's see if I can share my screen to
I'm
show
not. And
you.
I'm not a big.
I'm not a fan,
I
but
don't. Yeah, because anything that folds is going to break.
that's my opinion.
Now, if it rolls up,
Hmm.
that's different because that's a
I don't know
different
if I can get
technology.
a full view of this phone.
Anything with a hinge
Yeah,
is going to break. And
I
then what do you
agree.
do with the phone?
I don't know what you're supposed to do with
You
it.
have you have to buy the extended warranty. So when it does break, you just take it in and they fix it or whatever. Because if you don't buy the extended warranty on this thing, the hinge is going to break when the warranty is out. It
Yeah,
always happens.
that's the way it's
Twelve
programmed,
hundred,
right?
twelve,
Roll
twelve
back, roll
fifty,
back to the price.
1250.
At
Yeah.
Amazon, it's on sale. It's
Uh,
normally 1,800. It's
uh-huh.
down from, see here, 17.99.
18.
Yeah, 17.99. It's
Look at
31% off.
okay, at 1200, I'm buying a computer
How about
Exactly.
that? I'm
And why
giving
does
you.
my phone need to fold?
I have no idea, sweetheart. Some
because
people
it's
just
a
like to be the.
novelty.
I think some people just like to be the first ones out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I got
Well,
But
this
if they've got
folding.
the money, go ahead. That thing is going to break because it's a hinge.
Well, now here's a TV for 500 for $300. But anyway, yeah. So the phone is on sale, guys. If you wanted the phone, you can now get it at Best Buy for 13.99 or on Amazon for 12.50 for the folding phone. And some people, I guess, collect novelties. You know what I mean? Is that
Mm,
group too? So like,
I don't know. That's like, well, I collect VCRs. What you gonna do with a VCR?
I mean, I'm just
so
I
saying.
don't know.
on the commercial, they were showing it where, like with this phone,
Hmm.
you can
Right.
set it up. Well, there's nothing to hold it up. So I guess the
Got it.
fold will hold the top
It'll
part up.
stand alone like a.
Yes, but then
Right.
we buy a stand for that. Okay.
But then the thing is, by it standing like this, like a you know open like that, isn't there a line down your screen?
I don't know.
I mean, what's the point? You feeling me?
Yeah, and
I
it's
hear you.
back to TJ's point when it folds, you keep bending it. It's like the piece of paper.
It's a
You
hinge.
keep folding a piece of paper over and over and over again. Or anytime you take a credit card and you want to break it in half, you fold it and you keep moving that fold
Back and
over
forth.
and over again. It is
Mhm.
going to break.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so I'm just saying it's
Wow.
available,
No,
guys.
I'm just, if people want to buy it, go ahead. But I'm just telling you, it's a
Mhm.
hinge. So
Yes. So
Even
be
with
buyer
remember,
beware.
even with the flip phones, it wasn't the flip phone had two different. The screen was on one side and the
and
controls
the
was on
pad
the other.
keypad, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
But it wasn't folding the image.
exactly.
Well,
So there you go. I just wanted you to know that if you were thinking about getting it, it has now come down. Remember when they first started talking about how much was it like
It was 2,500.
yeah,
two
it was a
2000?
lot.
Yeah. I'm
So
like, so
here's the thing. If you see the prices coming down, that means they're not selling them a lot.
that's what I was thinking. That they might not they must not be flying off the shelf.
Because they're gonna be down some more because they're already down from 25 to
So,
whatever this
so it was
31%.
That's not
18 and then 18 and then it's on sale for the 25.
12.99.
Mm-hmm.
It's going down from there. So you might wait. You might be able to get one near the holidays for
maybe
something
nine or
very
eight hundred
popular.
dollars.
I don't know
Mhm.
because that whole situation is. Now there's some
The
tech we
hand.
do recommend, but I don't think that's one of them.
Yeah. So that's my stories, and I'm sticking to it. We got a dog training, artificial intelligence operation going over there, and if you need a folding phone, it's on sale. And I
Yeah.
yield the mic.
Ay, that's funny.
Oh my goodness!
Okay.
All right, so
So,
I guess I'm next. Or you want to do?
yeah,
Oh, you didn't do the tech news. Let's
you
get the
did this
news.
day in tech,
The
Yeah, I
history.
mean the debt. Yeah.
tech
I can
history.
do history at the end if y'all want.
No, let's do that.
All
Let's
right,
do
because
the
I'm gonna
history.
give you a couple of things. One of them, talking about phones. Let me just do these three stories. June 29th, 2007, nearly 6 months after it was introduced, Apple's highly anticipated iPhone goes
Hmm.
on sale. Generally downplayed by old world technology pundits after its introduction, the iPhone was greeted by long lines of buyers around the country on that first day, quickly becoming an overnight phenomenon. On 1 million phones 1 million phones were sold in only 74 days. Since those early days, the ensuing iPhone models have continued to set sales records and have completely changed not only smartphone and technology industries, but the world as well. So,
Mm.
but that phone don't fold. Okay, I'm just saying. June 29, 2007 is when the first iPhone came out. And it doesn't seem that long ago. How long ago is that? Oh seven.
Yeah.
2017 would have been 10.
Was it 17? So 15? I don't know. I'm not good at math.
I'm good at math, but not without a calculator. How about that?
We gotta
Anyway,
ask our devices.
yes, right? We're not even like, what? Okay, I'm not going to do that. Oh my gosh. June 30th, 1948, originally designed to create improvements to electromechanical relays and vacuum tubes and telephone switching equipment, Bell Labs holds a press conference in New York to publicly demonstrate the first point contact transistor. The transistor represents a significant advance in technology. As it's developed over the next few years, it will become a successor to the vacuum tube, the primary method of controlling electronic circuitry at the time. The use of transistors allows the development of the integrated circuit and microchips, which kickstarted the rapid advance of electronic and computerized technology over the last 60 years. So this is before the SIM cards and things. Every
Mhm.
industry that uses technology, from communication to computers to space travel to video games to media owes a great deal to the development of the transistor. I'm like, okay, 1948. And my final story, July 1st, 1979, the first Sony Walkman. Y'all got yours still? You still got it? The TPS-L2 goes on sale in Japan. It would go on sale in the US about a year later by allowing owners to carry their personal music with them. The Walkman and their iconic headphones introduced a revolution in listening habits and popular culture at large.
Okay.
Sony Walkman, you know, the little, okay, that was cassettes.
Yes, basically.
Right. So then it went from cassettes to a CD. Then Sony had the Walkman that was a CD, which was
And you walk like
totally,
this, hoping it
it
wouldn't
was
skip, right?
right. Because you couldn't walk with that the CD one, you couldn't walk with it too well because it was skipping, you know. And then hey Dr. Tachi. Then the other one was what? And then we went from the CD to the MP3 is where we are now, right?
Right.
Yes.
And even now, I was trying to think, okay, so I really don't have to have a device because my phone carries the MP3 and I can listen to
Exactly.
Spotify. I can listen to Apple Music. I
Yeah,
can
now we
listen.
got streaming. Now it's
Mhm.
streaming.
I can even see the concert on there while they play it on YouTube or my phone. Wow.
Right. Dr. Tachi, I think that was because my volume was turned down. I don't know. You were saying something. I apologize. I'm in Texas, so I guess I can blame it on the humidity.
And the time difference.
Yeah, and the time difference and being in a different spot. All of that.
I was like, oh, wait.
Yes, we're all traveling today, with the exception of TJ. Uh,
Yeah, so that's all my news for tech history. Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
well, we have a question over here from Jill. Jill
Okay.
Okay.
asking what devices are we using to stream this? And let me see if I can find the actual.
Where? Oh.
Do you
Okay,
see?
so
Oh, here it
Jill,
is. I got it. Here you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
do you
Just
ladies
go.
use your phone or webcam for these lives? Okay, so
I answered, so let me know if my answer is correct. I texted her back and said, we use our phones and laptops, basically.
right, but she's asking like a web. Okay, so when we say webcam, the camera on the top of your phone, on the top of
Your
your
laptop.
Computer or laptop. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a
right,
webcam. I'm using a
and
webcam.
right, and then you can also use your phone.
Right.
I'm not using my phone today, but you can use your phone to come in on StreamYard. Actually, pretty much because it's you can use the phone to Zoom. Anything you can do Zoom on, you can use for
Right. But we're using stream. If she's asking like the platform, we use this is StreamYard, which is
correct.
very easy. Very,
Mhm.
Very,
Mhm.
very, very
very. It's
easy.
just click a button. Nothing else
And
to do.
A
and
lot of
with
flexibility.
right, and with the webcam, if you are an Apple user, you'll be able to connect your iPhone and make it a webcam with the new iOS 16 that's coming out,
Right. Right.
which is awesome. I was like, say what? Okay. You can do top down views and you can do some other things that
Oh, really?
hmm
Mhm. Yep.
it's gonna
Okay,
be
then
nice.
I'll
So
wait
Yeah.
to
like,
get
Fran,
it.
Fran is she's on the beta version.
Oh,
yep.
okay.
Was not
So we get to
ready.
play with some
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
And I gotta hook it up and play with it and see what it's gonna look like. But it would be able to blur your background and do some stuff, and you wouldn't have to necessarily purchase another device like for your oh, it'll interact with your Mac stuff
Right.
already.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Good stuff coming.
hmm And you here's the thing: when they do an iOS update, does not mean you need to go out and buy a new phone.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
it just means you're gonna update.
Unless you got like a, one of the older
Okay,
ones, it will tell, they'll Apple will say it only works on this and above. So you can't do
right.
it on if you got a 5 or a 6. I'm sorry. It's
Mhm.
just
It's not
not
working
gonna
on
work.
5 or 6. It may not work on 8.
Yep,
So,
might not. Yeah,
um,
cutoff
so
might be 10.
yeah, I'm thinking the cutoff might be 10 because everything is faster. The processor is
Right.
faster.
Right, that's what it
Everything.
has to do. It has to do with the processor speed, the chip, and everything. Because they write
Mhm.
the software to, it's optimized on the latest chip and the latest things that they have in the phone. So that's
Uh-huh.
what it's about.
Oh, okay.
Right. So whatever it is that you're doing, if you're in the Apple world, that doesn't mean you need to buy a new phone unless it's your phone is no longer
Right.
compatible. And anyway, it works. And Jill,
Mm-hmm.
I love the Heartbeat platform right now.
Mhm.
Our, and she's talking about on Heartbeat is where we host our community for BizChicks. And
Mhm.
it is a really good right now so far. I've liked it. We've tried several communities. This one's the easiest one that I've seen. You
Mhm.
can put up events and all of that, and we'll send you. So, Jill, I think if you're interested, we can send you something so you can demo it for yourself. But a, a community page is kind of like groups for Facebook, where nobody was. It wasn't working too well with the groups on Facebook. You know what I mean? You go in and you try and have conversation, and it was hit or miss, and people were not. It wasn't
Engaged.
very engaging. Is that the word?
Yes, people
Yeah.
were
We're
not
look,
engaged.
we're looking to be better engaged with our community, and it was very distracting on Facebook because in order to go there, you had to go through all the weeds to get to the group.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You had to pass through your feed, and then you had to pass through the ads, and then you had to
Mm-hmm.
pass through. It was like a gauntlet. Okay, it's like we just wanted to be able to everybody meet over here, and this we're going to have a class. Here's what's happening, and you all can talk to one another. And they have something on there called Matchmaker, where if you're looking for a particular service, you can talk to another person that maybe offers that service, so you can coordinate and collaborate better.
Mm.
So
Okay.
yeah, and I just need ease of use. I don't like complicated. We tried Circle. Circle was too complicated. It
Mm-hmm.
was
It was not intuitive. It was not.
Right.
no, it was not.
Mhm.
So we test and do all the tripwires for the different stuff so that we can let you know. We tried Circle. I did like Luma, but it was limited,
Mm-hmm.
and but Heartbeat kind of filled it. Yeah, see, Jill said intuitive and easy like an iPhone. It
Yes.
really,
Yeah.
Heartbeat really is that easy. So hopefully we answered those questions for you, Jill.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Okay. That is all I have for uh, tech history.
Okay.
Oh, and what I meant to say too is that's why you want to upgrade your phone. I don't want to update my phone. And y'all, some people have a little red one sitting over there forever.
All the time.
Update the phone.
I'm like, update the phone because there's security updates in there that you need. You
Yeah.
need.
It's okay. Don't be scared. Click it. Update it.
Don't be scared.
Yeah, because if
And they're,
you if if you're not used to updating your phone, people get, you know,
I don't know what
concerned
to
whether or
do.
not they're doing the right thing. Updates are the right thing, people.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
like yes, because they're trying to protect your privacy. They're trying to do a bunch of stuff
Mhm.
to help them help you update the phone.
Okay. All
Okay,
righty,
and
daddy.
that is it for me. So
Okay.
TJ's coming up next.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me get my notes. Ah,
How
all
does it
right.
I'm moving these screens, guys.
It's like Hollywood Squares up here.
Yes, I know.
Okay. Let me get my notes out here. Let me see.
Okay.
All right. In social media news this week.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, all right. Let me start. Where do I want to start? I'll start with Snapchat.
Okay.
This is not news, but I haven't reported on it. But Snapchat has the Snapchat Plus. It is out now, and I'm trying to find where did I put it. Where
Boo.
did I put my Snapchat? Okay, Discord, Reddit.
look?
What
There's
happened to my Snapchat? Hmm. I must have deleted it. Oh, there it is. So much stuff. All right, Snapchat Plus. It's a new $4 monthly subscription service for the most hardcore, passionate Snapchat users.
Four damn
Again,
dollars.
Dr. Tachi said, "What for? What is it?"
$4. So it's $4. So
That's
they're
exactly what
going
I
and
said.
what do you get for that $4?
Not much.
Exclusive, experimental, and pre-release features.
The
So
ones that we
now
don't use now. I'm sorry, the
Yes,
ones we don't use now.
they
Is it that the
sounded like
Snapchat
they were what we already got going on to me. But go ahead, Doc.
is it that the Snapchat ghost comes and cleans your house? Is that it?
That would be nice.
I'm sorry. Before I say this is absolute rubbish, I'll let you get through it.
yeah,
Yes.
let's get the details out
So
of it.
let's stop interrupting. Go ahead.
All right, so it's for passionate Snapchat users, dedicated users. It's launched this week in the US, Canada, the UK, France, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. All right, so what can you do with this? You'll be able to change the app icon, see who rewatched the story, pin a friend to the top of your chat history as a BFF. You will have a new profile badge to show that you're a Snapchat Plus user. You will have new data insights, including the capacity to see your friend's location history over the last 24 hours, info who's rewatched your stories. That's pretty much it. So this is in the category of Twitter Blue, which is what is it, $2.99 a month, I think. And they also let you change the color of the Twitter app. Who cares?
I have a question. Did I hear you say that you can see where your friend has been in the last 24 hours? This
Yeah.
sounds like stalking to me. Are they,
Well, but see, this is your friend.
so your friend has to allow it, right?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
your friend.
Okay,
It's
cool.
not just anybody you
No, but I
allow to
mean
connect.
anybody who's friended you. Just because I'm your friend doesn't mean I necessarily want you to know where I
Because
am
remember,
24/7.
there's a private user level of Snapchat.
Okay. All right,
There's
cool.
a public face, and then there's the private face where you have the conversations and all those things going on, which is why millennial, I was gonna say Gen Z, they're on TikTok. Millennials like this because this is the app that went with the millennials. So there's a private aspect where you can chat with your close friends, and then you have a public facing where you can put public stories out, and that snap map. But the snap map you can make it your close friends. It doesn't show everybody. So there's like different buttons and levels to privacy. But this Snapchat Plus, I'm not paying $4 for this.
Okay, because
Why?
this is okay. So some of these features were like on Foursquare, where you could see where your friends were and blah blah blah. Okay, where's Foursquare now?
I don't even remember it now
Is it
until you brought
Scrappy?
it up.
Right.
Is it
So here's the
Scrappy?
thing: why would I need to? I don't. Okay, again, it's back for the millennials because I'm like, I don't need to know
Well,
where
well
y'all are all 24 hours a day.
here's the thing, Fran. I don't think the millennials are willing to pay for that either. Um, my grandson is on Snapchat a lot. He's like going on 16, but his little sister who is 8 is all about the TikTok. Okay.
Yep.
But I don't think a 16-year-old is going to reach in their pocket and give you $4. They,
Because they can take that $4 and use it over on
whatever.
Minecraft or somewhere
Yeah.
else. Not
Fortnite, all those other places.
Exactly. They're probably
But see,
buying skins
this,
on a
this is
game
the
or something.
This is
and
the
it's
thing. Snapchat is not concerned about selling everybody because this is the deal. If they just get a 1% of their active user base, which is I forgot what the number is, but it's it's a lot. If they just get 1%, they're happy with that.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So
They
the
can,
1% would be like 13 million in monthly income for the app, which is not
okay.
a lot, but they're not looking for everybody to join, which they won't, like we're saying.
So I
Okay.
have a
Right.
question.
I
Mhm.
respect that. Go ahead.
What again do you get for $4?
Access to exclusive Snapchat icons. That means on the
No,
icon on
yes,
your phone.
yes.
It won't be the ghost. It'll be whatever they put out for the month or whatever.
Okay, okay.
A new profile badge to show that you're a Snapchat Plus user. Data insights. That was the thing about seeing the friend location, who rewatched your story, because that kind of thing is important to people who use Snapchat. They want to see who took a screenshot or who did this or what with that. So, and the capacity to pin a user in the app as your number one best friend BFF. That's what you
Oh,
get.
well, now it's worth $4.
That's
My
what you
mistake.
get.
My mistake. Okay, I do take issue with something. It's your app. You can do whatever you bloody well please. I
Mhm.
will say this though. When it comes to things like insights, I think no matter what it is, whether it's who took a screenshot of whatever, should be available to you. Any insight should be available to you
Right.
for free
No, you
by
can see
default.
right now in Snapchat. You can see if somebody screenshots your story.
Right, you
That's
can
not
see, right,
right.
exactly. So
Right.
why is that a feature?
I don't know.
Or is it going away for the other folks?
I hope not, but I don't think so. They would have an uproar. But again, this is on the level of Twitter Blue. Who's using Twitter? Who's paid for it? Not I, said the cat. I no, no,
Not
no.
today.
So
Okay, okay. You know
this
what?
is like a how they tell you get multiple streams of passive income. Well, this is what Snapchat has done.
And I'm not faulting them for that. I just think that sometimes they're charging you for breathing air with these things, and it feels like they could be a lot more thoughtful with programs and features that could benefit someone who's actually going to pay. It feels like they just came up with this out of the air. And again, I'll say that it doesn't matter how many years these platforms are in business, because many of them take a tech first approach. They don't understand what the audience necessarily wants. And because they don't have people on board that understand the psychology of the buying mind, they just throw anything out there and see if it sticks, like spaghetti, as you like to say, TJ.
Yeah.
So I can't fault them for finding other streams of income. Absolutely, because we were all hella mad at Spirit, even though I never fly them, when they started charging for bags. But what happened? Everybody started charging for bags and
That's
for
right.
breathing air and whatever.
Yeah.
So we were, oh, we'll never take hold.
I
Don't be so
listen.
sure.
I'm
But
with
it
you.
feels like there could be something of
I'm with
more
you.
value.
I'm not paying for this. I'm not paying for this. I'm not paying for Twitter Boo. I'm not paying for Facebook. Whatever. No. No. Mm-mm. You don't
I
get
hear,
anything. So,
I hear a revolt. I hear a revolt starting over.
hey, if
the
people want to pay
benefits
for this, have fun.
the benefits are going to have to be better because they're really not anything better than the benefits you already have.
Exactly.
There's
Exactly. And
nothing.
then when you compare, I'm sorry, Francine, when you compare it to the fact that you may be paying for some of these premium services like television and content services, and this is
Mhm.
$4. Some of them are like, depending, $2.99, and some of them go all the way up to like $25. But when you look at that in the scheme of content and what you're already paying for, Are you that much of a super fan of Snapchat that you're going to take that money and pay for? I know I'm not trying to drive the messenger to the hospital. I know you're just telling us,
Yeah,
and that didn't make sense. I know, but
Mike. Okay, I know we have to move on.
Right. So Jill says if that $4 can make you $200, I'll be cool with it, but I'm not on Snapchat
Yeah, but
anyways. Right. I'm not. Snapchat has some nice tools in there, but I'm not. It's not like a main driver for me. But you gotta remember, there is a core group of users, a lot, that they love this app. So Snapchat is not looking to sell they're not selling the unsellable, convincing us. We're
yeah,
not users, but the
yeah.
people
And
that do
I
use
thought this,
Snapchat.
I thought this thing also was about um, contributors getting paid if you're a plus user or something. I thought
Oh,
there was something in there for some payment. No.
they might be in the future, but this is what
Okay.
they're off. This is what they're listing
Okay.
now.
Okay.
So you'll
Okay.
have access to exclude. Okay, so let me go back and get because I think I have a quote from them. Let me get my quote from
While you're getting
Snapchat.
that quote, I'm still trying to
Let me
understand.
read this quote from. Did I have? Yes, here's the quote. Today, we're launching Snapchat Plus, a collection of exclusive, experimental, and pre-release features available in Snapchat for $3.99 per month. This subscription will allow us to deliver new Snapchat features to some of the most passionate members of our community and allow us to provide prioritized support.
Okay.
So maybe
Oh,
there's more
okay.
to come.
Oh, so now you get tech support. Somebody gonna
Mhm.
answer the phone?
I
They didn't say
don't know.
answer the phone, but you get priority support.
We'll call
Okay,
you
so
back or whatever. Yeah.
no. So like, okay, so right now, if you wanted support for anything, like if you try to get help with Facebook or Instagram, you have to go through, type up all this stuff, submit it,
Right. And
You may
sometimes
not
you
get
don't get an
anybody.
answer. Right.
Yeah, you may not get an answer back.
Mm-hmm.
But with Snapchat, now I hear that with if I'm paying you $4 a month, if I got a question, I'm supposed to get an answer back or I'm supposed to get priority support.
Right.
But you know what? I have to say, I thought it was $4, but it's only $3.99. I
Stop it.
mean, come on,
Look,
people.
it is not Netflix. It's
You
not
call it
even YouTube.
$3.99, it's still $4.
And I'm getting
Right.
ready to cut
So,
them loose, but go ahead.
but at least with Netflix, I get a plethora of stuff for $4.
Choices.
Okay, okay, your mystery channel, Terry, is $6.99, but you're getting a, a
What I want.
benefit. There was a tangible benefit other
Yeah.
than tech support, priority tech support, because the rest of that stuff is like,
Sounded pretty standard.
do the millennials even want to post who their BFF is on their page? It's gonna make one of the others that thought that they were the BFF get a little, you know what I mean? If you put
Yeah.
somebody, I thought I was your BFF. Okay.
you know what though? At this point, we're really talking about Gen Z because millennials are a lot of them are turning 40 at this point. If you're
Right.
still doing the thing where you're offended because somebody didn't put that you were their BFF at 40, then the world is doomed. We are
Right.
seriously doomed.
Because when I'll say when I mean millennial, because there's different classes there's the younger millennial call themselves millennials, and then there's the older, like Taji said, she's right. The older millennials are 40 now, but there's a younger group who don't want to. They have these whole war things where the Gen Z don't like the older millennials, and they don't like the boomers, and it's like the infighting. So it's like the cool kids and the little cliques at high school. I'm like, I can't keep up with it.
Nobody got
Mark
time
has
for
a
that.
comment. Mark TV says, "Oh, Mark TV may be $9.99 a month, and you can never be quite sure what you'll get, but you can rest assured that it's something that you've never seen before and never needed to see."
That
Ta-da!
alone makes me want to subscribe.
We're gonna get jokes. Yeah.
Just out of curiosity. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Snapchat thing, they're trying it. If they cast that net out and get a few fish, well, good for them. But I'm not in that net.
Okay.
It is the same as the Twitter Blue. I
Yep.
don't know why
Not in there
anybody
either.
would do Twitter Blue. I'm barely hanging on with Twitter. And my
Right.
Snapchat, I have Snapchat, but you know what I use Snapchat for?
Yeah.
When I finished doing a TikTok, it asked you, do you want to post it on Snapchat?
Right.
Okay, yes, that is as far
And
as I
then
go
the
with
Snapchat,
Snapchat.
remember Snapchat, I use it for the lens, the camera, all the lenses and the camera things in there.
Oh,
You can
okay.
use it for that and save it to your phone. That's what I do with Snapchat. I'm
Oh, okay,
rarely
see,
posting stuff on there.
yeah, and I was like,
But I do like the app. I do like the interface to use. I just don't post anything. But there is a group that they love it. So for them, here you go.
okay, and so I guess you need to know where your people are. So
Yeah.
I would say
okay,
as a business, if you know you want to capture that group, run some the geo fence ads or the geo targeting with the link. There's some little things in there you can do, but other than that, no. And Mark says I have Snapchat, I've never used it not once. See?
Mm.
There you go.
I used
All
to be
right.
an avid Snapchat user, but that was then. This is now.
Yeah, now it's different. But there is a group that they're there. All right, so let's move on to Microsoft. We
Okay.
never talk about them.
we
So
never talk
Microsoft.
about Microsoft.
So here's the deal. I'm gonna tell you about Microsoft. So you know about Microsoft Edge, their little browser that they push on you when you're on Windows. They
yeah,
push it
yes.
on you. So now they're building a little mini Pinterest inside of the browser, and they're calling it Collections. Where have I heard collections for? Oh, Google Plus, and I've heard collections for Twitter. So now they're putting a mini version of Pinterest inside the browser. It's a collection window that will display a feed of recommended content based on the topics you've saved. Collections let you save and organize web pages, text snippets, and images you find on the web. You can make a collection, for example, recipes, to all your favorite meals, or graphic design, or you're saving, you're doing like a board to redecorate your house and you want to save little pictures and stuff. You can do that if you use Edge. So they're saying that it's also going to it's going to give you suggestions from the site, as well as let you export your collections to Pinterest boards. Now, one more thing with Edge, they're also going to let you follow certain content creators on YouTube, TikTok, and something called Bilibili. I've never heard of Bili. So when the feature comes out, you can hit the follow icon in the address bar on the website, and then you'll see their recent uploads in a new following tab on the collections pop out. Microsoft says it's rolling out these features to just a few websites to start. So
all right,
that's what Microsoft is doing.
So before we jump over there, because Jill has a question about subscription, and I got something I want to say about that Microsoft thing.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Jill says that it does make one think about subscription services and what offerings you may be able to make exclusive to your super fans, keeping in mind what they be most interested in. And that is true, because YouTube, you can now get a join button on your YouTube.
Yeah.
So that if you want, like you all can, we don't have a join button on BizChicks yet, but you could join, and it might be $1.99. I don't know.
This is in the YouTube partner program. When you get in the YouTube partnership program,
and you can have people contribute to your YouTube channel. So
yeah,
it does work, but what TJ always talks about, you got to give them something of value. Give them something that they want to subscribe to.
Yeah. And then also about the YouTube, whenever they have super chat and all these giving things where people can give you money, remember YouTube keeps like 30% of that money.
Right. So I don't know about the subscription on the join part of it, but there are a lot of subscriptions out now. Facebook is giving you, I do believe, where you can subscribe to somebody's. Everybody's trying to offer subscription now, but if you really don't have nothing to say, or people.
People have to have a reason to subscribe to you. So again, messaging is very important. It has always been important with content messaging. What are you saying? How are you saying it? And who are you saying it to?
Right.
You got to get that refined, because otherwise
Right.
you're just, throwing rice in the air at a wedding, and it's like, well, it's not hitting everybody.
Right. And what this is doing is taking a place of having people go over to your Patreon account and
Right.
having to leave the atmosphere of wherever they were to go someplace else to pay you.
Right.
Yeah.
So now,
Yeah.
meanwhile, back at the ranch with the edge.
Mhm.
Okay. So here's the situation. I was working on someone's PC and trying to help them do something. That edge situation is a nightmare.
You call it a situation, friend?
Because you're trying to go online and you can't do anything. You try, and I was like, okay, let me go to Chrome. I just need
Yep.
to get to Chrome
Yep.
because
Let me
I
get
couldn't
Chrome.
maneuver around in Edge. And now they're going to put more stuff
Gonna
over there
compound the
to get
situation.
confused by.
Microsoft is pushing this browser, even though they know Chrome is the number one. I think it's between Chrome and Chrome is one, Firefox is two, and then they're
Right.
trying. Like they for years, Microsoft has been trying to get this browser thing going. It's not working, Microsoft.
They changed it from Explorer, right,
Yeah,
to Edge. And I'm like,
yeah.
why?
It doesn't.
You wait, because they pushing you over the edge.
When I
But
go in the Edge, there's pretty pictures, and I'm like, ooh, that's nice. But that's not why I'm using a browser.
Mhm. Mhm.
it's
But
not, it's not
They're trying. So
right, but it's not easy to maneuver.
no,
It
it's
really
not.
is not easy to again, the
Is it
intuitiveness is not there.
what was the browser that they just retired? Was it Netscape? Who was that that went away? Was it
Recently,
yeah, recently.
maybe Opera.
I know.
But see, most people use Chrome. A lot of
Mhm.
people use Firefox for the developer tool. If you're website stuff like that, there's some things in Firefox. But everybody gravitates towards Chrome. And on the Windows, because I have a Windows PC that I use, and I updated it the other day, and it was like, oh, Microsoft was like, oh, do you want to migrate your browser settings into Edge? I was like, hell no. Bloop. I don't want that. I was like, you better not move my stuff. Like, are you kidding
Because
me?
Edge is not,
And
oh my,
because the default setting was yes, and I was like, no, do not move my stuff in the Edge. I don't use it. Duh. But they keep forcing you to try to use their browser, which I'm like, I understand, Microsoft, but we don't want it.
Well, the whole thing is too, when it comes to browsers, it's like about compatibility of things as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, for
Yep.
example, can you use StreamYard and Edge? Remember, all of these things are browser based.
Right.
And so, if you don't have that stability of the browser, it's going to be problematic when you go to, use it.
Right.
So that's the thing. Chrome, not that it's the most stable. Chrome has its issues too,
No, it's
but
not the most stable.
not at all, but I think it's the most well known now, so that's
Right.
marketing, and
Right.
it's also amongst the browsers the stability, because I mean, let's just take StreamYard for example. Have you
Mhm.
ever tried to use StreamYard in Firefox?
No, I haven't.
that would
Maybe I
be
tried a
Deplorable.
couple times, but
they say you
Deplorable.
can,
mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
but I've never tried it
I
because I
think
I
I
don't have
have.
might have
a
tried it.
Xbox
I
I don't
have,
account.
remember.
and it doesn't work well at all. There was a sync issue when I started using it. So when
Right.
it comes to that, for some reason, Google has mastered being able to keep everything in sync.
Mm.
Again, until
Mm-hmm.
somebody else comes to challenge them, they're going to probably be the mainstay.
Okay.
Right, because I
Right.
believe all of the developers um, develop their apps around Chrome
Right. Right.
because I have Safari that I use for privacy purposes and stuff, but it will not run StreamYard.
Right.
Mhm.
It doesn't.
So the developers have everybody who's doing something, they mostly do it on Chrome because Chrome is the most popular,
Mhm.
Right.
probably the most easy to use too.
Okay.
Right, but that doesn't make it the best one, but it's just
No,
the
but
one that everybody uses.
right. And so the developers create their stuff for Chrome,
Right.
and you're like, oh,
Right, because you can't write for all the you'd have to have several different teams of developers writing for each browser, which they don't. Because there's other browsers. There's Opera, I think it's still in operation. There's another one called Brave that's like Chrome. There's a couple of them. So you would have to have people for each team for each browser, which people aren't doing that because that's you got a cost
It's not cost
issue there.
effective.
Yeah, you got to pay those people. They're not doing it for free. So that's why you have one set of developers and you do it for Chrome and maybe Firefox and you throw the rest over the wall. Jill says intuitive and easy. Yes, yes. So Microsoft Edge is trying to edge its way on in there with these Pinterest type
offerings,
collection offer, whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's going to work because who's using Edge?
When you can just simply get a Chrome extension.
Yep.
And be done with that.
Very easy. So speaking of Chrome, we're going to talk about Google. Okay. YouTube will disable hidden subscriber counts, and it's to fight comment spam. Now this one, I've seen some videos today on YouTube. A lot of people, smaller channels are upset because there's a setting on YouTube. If you don't have a lot of subscribers, you can hide that information when people go to your channel. YouTube is removing that because people who are scamming on larger channels like Mr. Beast and other like that, they will copy all of the graphics and information, make a ghost channel and try to scam people, and then they hide the subscriber count. Because Mr. Beast has like, I don't know, a gazillion subscribers. And so they're trying to scam by going into the comments and using the imagery of, say, Mr. Beast or vidIQ or Gary V, and they come in to the comments for crypto scans. So YouTube is getting rid of the option to let you hide your subscriber count. So a lot of people are upset about it. But what they're doing is because because they're using it to impersonate larger established channels. So they're saying that some creators prefer to hide their sub count as they try to grow, but they're saying this they're moving that option because of impersonators. Also, you can't use special character in your username. That's another thing that people use to scam to make it seem like. So like for instance, like Gary V, it's Gary VEE, but some people will put Gary VEE _ or something else where people are not really looking at it. They're looking at the icon picture. So they steal his icon. It's real easy to steal it. You just right click and save it. Yeah. And then they make an impersonator channel and then put a character at the end of the name. People aren't paying attention. This happens on Instagram too. So people are trying to impersonate, and then they try to get the scam into the crypto. They're doing it for crypto scam. I've actually seen this on some of Gary V's videos. One of them was like, it was so like a person saying a comment, and I got sucked into it. And at the end, it was like, oh, this person helped me with my investments. I was like, that's a scam. It looked like somebody was leaving a thoughtful comment. So they're getting more sophisticated with their comments, because the bots would just leave stupid comments and you go, oh, that's a bot or that's a scam. But now they're starting to put real thoughtfulness, like William Shakespeare stuff, into their comments, and to draw people in who aren't, they don't know what's going on. And then they say, go to this place and learn. It was about investments. All of this is about investments in cryptocurrency.
Right.
So YouTube is, go ahead.
We had a situation for one of the people that we assist with their YouTube account. And one morning, this is a church. And so one morning, all of these comments came into the feed. It was for the live chat. And it was just like oh my gosh. And then you would take them out and you would report and do all of the stuff that you're supposed to do, remove them, block them and stuff. And then it came back again and they
Right.
kept doing it. So then we
Right.
had to go into the settings and turn off. We only put the only
Subscribe. You
people
can
that
do
can comment.
subscribers. Right.
Yeah, the only people who can comment are subscribers,
Right.
number one.
Right.
So if you have a YouTube channel, you probably want to set that on there so not
Yes.
everybody else is saying something.
Right.
And then we had to put in there words and things
Yeah,
that
the
you do
filter.
not want to have
Right.
show up in the chat,
Right.
automatically filter them out. I
Right.
was like, that is a lot of work for these, but these people
Yeah.
are
So that's why YouTube is doing this. So a lot of the bots, the spam bots, will use special characters like ampersand and the @, and it looks crazy. So YouTube is like, okay, you can't use that stuff in your username, so they won't be able to do that. But then, like Fran says, you have to go into your settings in your channel. And there's things to set, but you got to go in and set them, which is a pain. But once you do it one time, it every time you get a bot that slips through with a word. But that's getting to what I'm saying, that now the comments are like normal. This person
right.
put like a normal and it was like, it seemed thoughtful. Oh, I'm this and this and my wife and this, and then I got to the end, I was like, that's a scam. But it was just like conversational wise. So they're starting to wise up and put more thought into their comments instead of going in and just spamming with characters. So we got to be on top of that too. But some of these settings that Fran is talking about, you have to set up. Just set them up one time.
Okay.
Right.
Because keep on top of the list of what people are trying to slip through and put that word in there.
Right. Because people go full bot and stuff, and you're like, and you really got to pay attention. You don't click on a link. Well, they can't put a link in the comment anyway, but you don't go to wherever they're trying to send you. Just so no, because it is. I was like,
but the funny thing was the comment that I saw that was really normal, and then after that it was like, oh yeah, Miss Mary Mack. I'm just throwing that in. It was and it was odd like that. Oh, Miss Mary Mack has made a difference in my life with the investments. You should go see her. And then all the other comments was like, oh, Mary Mack, she helped me. Da 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 da. Oh, I had so many. I was like, it's a scam. This is spam. But they're making it seem so conversational, like they're having conversations with each other. And I'm like, that's scamming. But if you're not attuned to it, you won't see it. It just looks like a normal conversation between people. So they're starting to do that now.
And it seems like a legitimate recommendation.
Right. But what stopped me was after I read that first comment on the Gary's video, it had nothing to do with his video. But the person was making it seem like it was. And I was like, that's got nothing to do with this video. So I was like, that's not. But you have to have that kind of experience. But the beginners are not going to get that, and they might get scammed by following this person. And they didn't even say follow me. It was just the way the wording was, like you wanted to, like, what is that about? And you wanted to click on their icon, and then that's how they get you into the rabbit hole with the scam.
You go and try and see their channel,
right? That's what they want.
They want you to go over there to their channel. And so there are sometimes, like TJ said, they've gotten, what did you call them, William Shakespeare? But before, some of them were just some random stuff. I was like,
it looked crazy. That's how it used to be. Now they are, and this is because they're using AI tools. There are content AI tools that you can take and create like conversational stuff, which is good if you want to make content on social media, but it's bad for those who are the scammer mindset. They're like, oh, I could go to this AI tool and it'll write the text for me, and I put it in the comment. That's how it was. It was just like, I was like, wait a minute. That comment has nothing to do with the video, but it sounded so sane. And at the end, it was about an investment. Something about following this person for an investment advice. And I was like, that's a scam.
Trying to redirect people. Jill says, I see that on all popular posts. I think a certain amount of comments triggers these bot combos.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence.
Right. But what I'm saying is we could see it before, and now they're going like
They get
wolf
more
in sheep's
sophisticated.
clothing kind of thing, where
Mhm.
it's like, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm like, that's scam. That they're trying to get you to follow this person, click on their channel. But YouTube is aware of that, and they're trying this. I don't know how effective it will be, but and some of the small people who have smaller subscriber numbers are not happy with it because they were hiding the subscriber numbers.
Okay.
Because that's one of the visual psychological things, like, oh, if you don't have 1 million subscribers, then I'm not gonna whatever, or if you just got a few. But don't let that deter you if you're trying to do YouTube, because YouTube is definitely the long game. It's not short, quick, fast. Jill says, I guess legit companies can start doing that as an alternative to ads. Please, no. I hope they don't. But
Wow.
that's what's going on with YouTube.
Mhm.
So you'll see that you won't be able to hide your subscriber count, but it's for a good cause. All right, so let's move on to Twitter. Twitter is pushing the Spaces thing more and more. So they've added some tools. So there's a new Spaces recording tool and management tool. So what it is that if you record a space, if you forget to record a space, after you have the space, there'll be an option to ask you, you didn't record this, do you want to save it? Do you want to record it? And then plus the recording will last more than 30 days. So you'll be able to what else is there? Okay, so that's permanent recordings. That's what they're calling it. So it was a testing in January. Now they're putting it out for everybody, and the recordings go beyond the 30 days. What they're trying to do is turn Twitter into like a podcasting tool where you can go to Twitter and hold your space and turn it into a podcast, and it's permanently there, kind of thing.
Okay.
So they're pushing the Spaces chat, trying to make it more podcast like. Also, they're developing stations within the Spaces tab. So again, more pushing about, oh, we're going to make this podcast like, so you can have those options for on-demand audio content within the app. Also, one more thing, they are enabling iOS users to record it. Oh, this is what I said. They're doing iOS only. Record a space when the broadcast is over if you didn't hit record when you started. So at the end, you'll be able to, it's like they're holding it. And then if you really want to record and you forgot, there'll be a button to say, okay, save it, and then put it on my Spaces and save it for more than 30 days.
Okay.
Right. So that's what Twitter's doing. TikTok is creating a dedicated. Oh, go ahead.
Before you jump over there, Jill had a question.
Jill says, do you record stream? Yes, StreamYard records. That has the option.
And you can save it or you can delete it. You can download audio or video or both.
Right. It's separate, like everybody that's here, there's a separate audio track that you can download after the fact. Okay, so let's go into TikTok. TikTok is testing a dedicated shop feed that highlights products that you can buy now. They're being sold in TikTok Shop, a shopping feature that enables merchants and creators to showcase and sell products directly on TikTok. So this is available in Indonesia, Vietnam, Singapore, and the UK. So there'll be a new tab that appears next to the following and For You tabs in the home screen. There'll be a search bar with different shopping categories, include like beauty, women's wear, electronics, accessories, bags, kitchen, footwear, baby, office bedding, and more. So the shop tab will include perks such as free shipping on select purchases. So TikTok is putting the online shopping thing together. All right, so let's go into Instagram. Instagram is testing making every video you post a reel. I really hate this. Because now when you go into Instagram, it looks more like TikTok ever and ever. And when you take the sound off of a reel, it flows into the next and it just keeps going and going. I'm like, I don't want that. But I guess, Instagram wants to be reels. So they are going to make this feature. So this is their, let me get their little quote. We're testing this feature as part of our efforts to simplify and improve the video experience on Instagram. So again, what this is that when you upload a video and it's not a reel, they're going to make it a reel, is what Instagram is saying. There's no IGTV.
Which did I ask you to make it a reel?
Exactly.
And there's something about people being able to take your reel and reuse it. And
yeah, that's the remix feature.
Yeah, the remix. It sounded very invasive.
But before this, you could upload a video and it would be a video under the video tab. Now they're making it a Reels tab. And if you put a video up on your feed, it's going to come up as a reel, not a video.
I have a question. So is it still fitting within the parameters of up to 90 seconds?
Well, see, that's the thing. They're saying they're testing it. I don't see that option because I'm like, the video goes up to 10 minutes. Is that right? I haven't put up a video in a while.
It's going up pretty high.
Compared. Well, when I upload video, I've done up to an hour. So
up to what?
1 hour, 60
minutes.
Okay,
so I'm getting TikTok is 10 minutes. Right. So it's an hour. So that's the deal. How are they going to do that? That's a good question. I didn't see any answer to that.
They're gonna what? Are they gonna clip out a certain portion?
They didn't say. Because the reel is 90 seconds now, right? I believe a reel on Instagram is 90 seconds.
Yes.
So are they saying that now a reel can be an hour? What? Instagram? I don't know.
And are they going to choose what section? If it's not an hour, are they going to?
They're just saying that they're testing with select users around the world to simplify and improve the video experience on Instagram. So if you're a part of the test, you will see an in-app message that says video posts are now shared as reels.
They just want to be like TikTok.
Yes. Yeah. So there's the remix part, but that comes with reels. But Dr. Tachi's question is correct. And I thought about this too. I'm like, well, you can put up video up to an hour. How is that going to be a reel? When a reel is 90 seconds.
Sounds like a program to me.
Well, they used to have IGTV,
right,
which was trying to be like YouTube,
right,
and that didn't take off because people are still on YouTube.
And they had the separate IGTV app, and they got rid of that. They had a separate app. They got rid of that. Then they got rid of the video tab in the interface and called it reel. They put a video tab up somewhere. So now they're removing that video tab and it's just going to be reels. But like Dr. Tati says, what is the deal with the time limit? Because it's 90 seconds to record. But maybe, like Fran says, maybe they're going to chop it up. But I don't want you to chop up my video. I didn't ask for this.
You know what I'm saying? Are they going to just involuntarily decide where the cutoff is? And I just like, sounds
good
weird.
question.
Don't touch my video. Don't touch my video.
You know what I mean?
Put it up, leave it as I intended, because then that's just, you know what? If for people, creators that have longer content, you're just driving them into the arms of YouTube. Because if I want my content untouched, I will put maybe a teaser and then drive you over to YouTube,
right,
where I can monetize anyway.
Right. So maybe they are going to do it like TikTok with the 10 minutes. You don't know how long the TikTok is. There's a little bar at the bottom, but it keeps playing. As long as you watch, I guess it keeps playing. This is good questions. I don't know what Instagram is going to do, but they're trying it with this Reels business.
This Reels business.
This real, everything is a reel. No.
I
don't know. We'll see.
Boomerang for their little 6-second deal, and they keep trying to tell you, you want to try Boomerang? No, I don't. And now they're messing with my long form video.
Yeah, they're putting it in the Reels category, but they can't cut it up because like Dr. Touch, if you do an Instagram live, say 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and then you put it up as video, you're stuffing it in the reels category.
So, well, this is interesting, and I would also caution people, as always, to read the terms of service
Yep.
of these, because now this is really your intellectual property, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
if they chop up, this is just an if, we're all speculating here.
Yeah.
If they chop up something, they have now edited your
Exactly.
original IP. Can they do that? This is why you need to read
Good
the terms of
question.
service and
Good
make sure,
question.
because they may adjust things. There may be an update depending. Don't be surprised if that's what they're going to do if you see an update to the terms of service.
Right. This is crazy. Okay, Instagram. Also with the Reels with Instagram, they now are opening Reels API access to third-party platforms. What that means is if
Yes.
you use Hootsuite or one of the other third-party platforms, you will be able to upload Reels through that software that you use that you
Oh,
pay
okay.
for.
Now, I'm sorry, I have a quick question. I read
Yeah.
about this, and it led me to think, okay, well, great, they're opening up their API a little bit more. In your opinion, when do you think they would open up their API to third-party tools like StreamYard, like Restream, etc., so that you could actually stream?
That's a
Now,
good question.
see,
I don't think they're ready for that yet.
they haven't, because everybody wants to stream live to, like, if we could stream straight to Instagram from here, that would be genius, but we
Right.
can't. But
Right.
they want to, but they want us to take our intellectual property and stream it to them,
Right.
Right,
not
and
to
you know,
them. They
Okay,
want
so let
us. Yeah, they want us to be able to take it from there to stream over to other people. And
right.
Jill has a
and it
comment.
can be
Right.
done. I'm sorry,
Go ahead,
Oh,
Doc.
it can be done. For example, remember Busker?
yeah.
Busker was a vertical format as well. And
Right.
what they did is they just gave you the when they opened up their API, because Curtis would run it for me. We just
Right.
had to change the parameters
Right.
of the
Yeah,
orientation,
display. Right.
so right, of the display, so that we could, so that it would fit within Busker, and it was a vertical format. We
Right.
just had to, adjust it, and it worked out fine. So there's no earthly reason they cannot. They just don't. And it's like after a while, it gets like, as I do my show twice, once on
Right.
Instagram and then once for the other platforms. And honestly, it gets up to be a bit much,
It
especially when
is.
you're not garnering. Like Instagram is not paying me to do that. I would
Exactly.
just like to do everybody at one time.
Right.
So, but it's not my platform, so I have no
So
say.
and you know why I don't think that's like if they ever do it, it's because they want you to live stream within the app, so you're within the app. So if
It's
you're in the app,
janky, janky,
right,
janky, janky,
right.
janky. People
And
want
if
to
you
be
use
able
a
to
third
do
party
things.
software, you're not in the app, so they're not liking that. Instagram doesn't like that because then you're
Jill
go ahead.
they want you to stay in Instagram world,
Right.
in Meta
Yes.
world, or wherever they
All
are.
the apps do, not just Instagram. All of
Right.
them want you to Snapchat. They want you to stay in there. TikTok. They want you to because they can give you ads. That's how they serve you ads. The more people in the app, the more time they can go to the people who buy ads and say, "See, we got this many people doing this or this many people doing that in the app." So that's why they want that.
The stupid
Right.
thing is, though, I'm sorry. Get to Jill's
Okay.
comment.
Jill says that everything we post to free social media is still our IP. And that's like Dr. Taki said, we got to read the terms of services. Some may and some may not. And it's like some grayish, murky area. Now we getting in when we're talking about the reels. But I'm pretty, I'm thinking, yes, it's mine, but we got to read the terms of service of each app.
Exactly, and because even though it is your IP,
Right.
if you read the terms of service, you
Mm-hmm.
probably are agreeing to allow the platform to use your IP in
Yes.
any way they see fit, and that probably includes chopping it up to
Right.
clips for promotional services, etc. So
Right.
generally, do you own it? yes and no. You own it, but the moment you put it on somebody else's platform and they have in their agreement that they can use it however,
Right.
so just be careful.
And this is a good topic because I don't know if you follow, everybody know Barb Tomlin.
Yeah,
She
yeah, yeah.
follows this a lot. She talks about this, reading the terms of service and what these apps can. And she follows that really closely. I mean, like, she's like, oh, this. Let me go and see. They made a change because I'm seeing that when I'm in Facebook. She's like, oh, this platform made a change. Let me go, and she goes in with a fine tooth comb and looks at it. So this might be a good topic if we want to talk about it.
Right. And yeah, because a lot of times people just rush through and start clicking. Yeah,
Right.
I agree. I agree.
Just
I
yes,
agree.
yes, yes, and then put their stuff up because they want to be on the platform.
And then
So
Jill
no, this
says,
is
yep, makes me think of photographers watermarking their images to prevent
right,
that.
right. So this is a good topic. Okay, so this API, they're saying it's going to support content scheduling, insight, moderation, hashtag search, and more within the Reels element. So this was something that a lot of social media managers was asking for, clamoring for, because if they use Sprout Social, Hootsuite, there's a whole bunch of third-party management tools. They wanted to be able to schedule reels and put them through that third party software instead of going to reels, having to do it within Instagram or Facebook. So they're excited about it. We'll see what comes up with this. Another thing to watch out for, the terms of service. All right, so just a few more. So I'm going to go to Meta. Meta has launched a new NFT display option on Facebook, so you'll be able to create custom NFT posts with a digital collectible tab. Profiles will also have a new dedicated NFT section, show off your non-fungible token artwork. So when users tap through these images, they'll be able to see who owns the artwork, who created it, along with a brief description of the NFT. So if you're interested in that, that's what's coming. Now here's a big one. Facebook groups are being revamped to look like Discord.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
They're changing the look of Facebook.
no.
Yes, especially on the mobile app, because Discord it's available on the web, but a lot of people use it on the mobile app on their phone.
Yeah.
So they are going to they're introducing new features for Facebook group, including channels that will let users connect with each other in a smaller setting. The admins can create these channels to connect with their group in more casual settings within their communities to have more focused
You
discussion.
know, you know what? Meta is just getting so confusing to me between this business application and I'm just exhausted with them.
Okay, so
Okay.
there are going to be three types of channels that admins can create: chat, audio, and feed. So this is where it's getting like Discord, because in Discord there's so many channels that you can have an audio, a video, you can do screen share, and you can do a live stream into it. You have the text chat, you can put pictures, there's little emojis and things you can
Yes,
add in your
yeah.
Discord.
Okay, so Discord was created mainly by the gamer
Yeah,
world,
yeah,
and so I know a lot of people. Some of the people that I follow, they moved their group from Facebook and moved it over to Discord.
And you can
right.
charge too over on
Yeah,
Discord. Yeah.
Right.
you can
So
charge
we
for
moved.
Facebook too. Your groups.
Yeah.
So they moved over to Discord, and I just figured out how to maneuver Discord, and I understand that a little better now. Facebook doing it, it seems like, or Facebook does not know who they are.
No,
Who the audience is.
Know who they are because they keep trying to morph into somebody
they're
else.
following the trend. They're following the hot app. The hot apps are TikTok and Discord coming up for a close second. So Fran is right. They're trying to change the interface, the look of Facebook, because they know that people are leaving to go to Discord, to go to TikTok. So they're like,
Well,
hey, maybe we can keep you here if it looks like and works like Discord.
Now, how
Well,
stupid is that?
because here's the deal. If your audience is older, they probably don't want a lot of change. They want
Right.
something
They're not gonna,
simple.
because you have to
They
learn
want something
Discord.
easy to use,
Hmm.
and they're not looking to learn a lot of stuff right now. They don't done their time and they
Right.
want something and they're comfortable there. But
Yes.
what you're doing is you're making it so complicated that you're also losing that audience, which at this point,
Because they're frustrated.
even though they're older, they were loyal and willing
Right.
to be over there so they could see their grandkids or whatever.
Right.
Okay. But the more you complicate it, they're
See,
like,
Facebook wants Gen Z and millennials,
then
but
they need
they
to
don't
create
want
another
nothing to do
platform.
with
They
you,
don't want
Facebook.
you,
They
but
don't
they
want
don't
you,
want
Facebook.
you. That's like you continually, when there's somebody that you're clamoring after and you're looking
Yeah.
to get with them, and you just allow them to treat you anyhow because you want to get with them, but they don't want
They
you.
don't want
Move
you.
on. Move on to somebody that does want you. Become the best in class for the audience that you have. Stop
Right.
trying
Exactly.
to get audiences that clearly don't want you, that have moved on from you, or that in Gen Z's case they were never really on
They
you.
were never there.
Thank you. And
They
they're
were
not
never there.
coming.
They don't know what Facebook is. And then one of the Tuesdays I talked about, we looked at the numbers of like the Facebook users, like it skews older. So
Yes.
Facebook
Right.
doesn't want that. They want Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and they're like Dr. Todd said, they don't want you. They're going to TikTok. So why are you confusing the people that you have? The older crowd, you're confusing them because they don't want this new look.
And and
Okay.
the, and the younger crowd doesn't want the old look.
Because
So
they're not there.
create something for that group. Go over there and build a new house. I don't understand why they keep trying to renovate this house and get
Look,
people to come over.
Facebook already has a whole neighborhood. They have too many houses, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
I think that I thought something occurred to me. Partially because of their push, even though they pulled back a tiny bit, but there's this push into the metaverse. The whole reason for naming themselves Meta, which I think is just
Yes.
so stupid.
It is
people who
stupid.
don't people who do you don't do that. If you really are into that, you don't say, well, we'll just name ourselves Meta. Oh, come on. That shows you really don't know what you're doing. So anyway, they in forming this new metaverse, that people that are very heavily into NFT projects, they use Discord. That
Yes.
that is the if you have an NFT project, you almost not even almost you have to have a
You have
Discord
to.
to engage
Right.
the community, because NFTs are not just about, oh, let me make an NFT and get money. It's about a
Right.
community that you are forming around whatever NFT project it is you have. And
Yes.
so, with that, because Meta is also trying to push into this whole world of crypto,
Hmm.
the metaverse, and NFTs, I'm thinking that their push to do that also has to do with that connection between Discord and NFTs. So if they look more like what Discord is, that
Mhm.
maybe they'll be able to sway or woo and the NFT community over to Facebook, which I'm telling
Really?
you now, right now,
That
it's
ain't
not
happening.
going to work. It
Not
is not
happening.
going
I
to
agree.
work.
I agree with you. So wait,
They
let me give this little quote before we keep talking about it. So this is from the vice president of community at Facebook. Says admins can begin to create channels to connect with their groups in smaller, more casual settings where they have deeper discussions on common interests or organize their communities around topics in different formats. So they're trying, like Dr. Tati said, they're trying to make this thing look like Discord, but Discord people are on Discord. They're not leaving Discord to come to Facebook because you changed the way it looks in a Facebook group. That's not happening. So
Oh,
Dr.
and
Touch is right.
another thing, really quickly, I know
Mhm.
not to belabor the point, but there's a whole, you have to be careful on Discord anyway, right?
Yes.
But there's this whole Facebook has already messed it up for themselves, or Meta, or whatever you're calling yourself these days, because you have a huge privacy problem. And when you're getting into the metaverse and crypto and NFTs,
Mhm.
privacy and security is a must.
Yep.
If we already can't trust you in the Web 2 world, why in God's name would I give you my stuff in Web 3? So I think they have shot themselves. That's a terrible saying. I
In the
think they
foot.
have, yes, it's a terrible
They
saying,
have.
but they've messed themselves up because they didn't pay attention to privacy, not realizing that privacy and security were going to be a huge thing for Web 3. I don't
Mhm.
trust you in Web 2. I'm not going to trust you in Web 3. So I
And
think that's
Mhm.
another thing why they're pseudo Discord or their bizarro Discord won't work.
And remember Zuckerberg said years ago he wasn't
didn't care.
concerned with privacy. Remember that?
Yeah,
Anybody
he
remember
said
that?
he
We
was
sure,
not concerned.
Cambridge
did.
Analytica. Remember we talked about that
Sure
years ago?
did.
They didn't. He didn't care. He told you up front. So
Sure did.
you're right. They messed themselves up. People are leaving. The ones that are there don't want this new stuff. Facebook. I'm not calling them Meta. Facebook. They don't want this stuff. So you're messing it up for the people you do have, which means, hey, Facebook could go down. Bye bye.
Exactly.
Does
Anybody
anybody
remember
know what happened?
MySpace.
No.
MySpace,
Does anybody know what happened to Portal?
Yeah, it's still going.
Oh,
They still
it's
have
still
that?
going. They still have Portal, but it's like, in fact,
Who's using
they
it?
have a hard not a hardware, but a physical shop. They're opening physical shops.
Yeah.
Where you can go buy it?
Where you could go buy things like the Portal, etc. Who wants it? I don't know, but
Buying it.
I don't know.
nobody.
The same people who miss what was that thing? Something compact, or who was the name of that store they used to Radio Shack? I don't know.
Oh yeah, Radio
Okay.
Shack.
So see, if they would play like Dr. Tachi said, become very good at the audience that they have,
Right.
and help the audience where they are now. I know they don't want to do that. I can see the commercials now. They'll be having commercials for all kind of stuff that has nothing to do with the younger crowd, because the advertisers coming in are going to be looking like Me TV.
Exactly.
But the people who are on Facebook who are trying to connect with their family, friends, are just keeping up, and that's what they do. You got to serve them what they know.
Exactly.
Well, now
And then-
remember, Facebook is moving away from friends and family. Remember that? We talked about that.
Yeah. See, and that's why there's a problem. You
They're
get us
moving
all
away
over
from it.
here for friends and family, and then you tell us, "Oh, we're not doing friends and family anymore."
Nope, they're
Now
doing
we're just
interest
standing
based.
out in the street. You know, took the house away, and you just
Mhm.
you bulldoze the house, and now we're just standing out here. So now what do we do?
Now, a little part of this is I discovered a new app. It's called Hank. It piggybacks on what we're talking about, the older crowd of Facebook, and then changing it. So where is this crowd going to go? There's a new one called Hank. It helps older adults connect and have fun.
Spell that, please.
Hank, Hank, the word like
Hank.
somebody's name.
Oh, okay.
Hank. So it's one of the first platforms focused on matching adults over the age of 55 with events like art workshops, pickleball, coffee meetups, and skydiving. So they're saying Hank is available in the New York City area, but will expand to New Jersey, Florida, and Texas. It eventually plans to be available in all 50 states. So the co-founder said he put this app up because after more than a decade of working in tech, he realized he was primarily creating things only for people like him or 40 and under. And he's saying that these, if you're 55 and up or 65, work is not a connection, so you're doing more lifestyle things and events. So he said there's not an app for that. And the deal is that he says that people age 55 plus spend an average of 120 billion per year on leisure activities. So this app is going to be around that. So that's what I'm saying. Facebook is messing up. People changing the way things look. They're going to drive people to other places like Hank.
And because see, they are just like they had the corner on the market with their audio and stuff. It just play. You have it in your hands. Just develop the tool. And see what just like you said, they're gonna push us over to Hank. Because they have the tools right now, and they have the people right now, right here.
Right. And see, this was happening with other generations. I think we talked about it before. I found this article, I gotta find it, where they're saying like Gen Z, they don't use any apps, social media apps. They have this other app. I forgot what it's called. Was it Moment or something? Where they're doing things outside of social media.
Be real.
Be Real, that was it. And there was a couple others. But see how it's getting specialized? Now there's an app for 55 plus. Now there's an app for specifically for this group to do what they like outside of social media because of that focus. So they don't want to be on Twitter because they're, you tweet something and somebody will, harass you or come at you, and they don't want that. So they're going places, and these app developers are making places to where it's specialized. Where it's a grouping of people that around interest or age, and you do this one thing, and it's not social media in that way.
It's
So this is the
niching
new
down.
drive.
They're niching down to
Yes.
Different.
Being more private, more inclusive of around a topic or an age group. So I saw this Hank story. I was like, oh, so now they're doing 55 and plus activities, events, and things that you might want to do if you're in that retirement age. But you don't want to be on Facebook. You don't want to be on TikTok. You don't want to be on the other social media apps where it's more of a youthful culture where they do crazy stuff. Because you don't want to do crazy stuff.
And so you talked about this to us years ago, where there was going to be micro.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is what's happening.
Right. And it the app called Neighborhood?
Neighborhood?
Right. That's a niche group.
Right.
Because it is talking about what's happening in your neighborhood.
Right. And isn't there something going on with the Ring? If you have a Ring app, there's like a community thing in there. But see how it's all specialized?
Yeah. And Ring is kind of like the neighborhood too.
Right.
Okay, but it's kind of like crazy over there. It's like, okay, y'all need to stop posting.
That's what I heard. Somebody in my Discord was saying that the Ring community was something about dogs, something about the dogs. She was saying it was crazy over there.
Right. It's just anyway. Neighborhoods is not that far from the crazy either, and it's just people. Did you hear the helicopters last night? Well, what's going on with it? Okay, my power went out. How about yours? But it is definitely neighborhood niche.
Right.
And it's real time.
Right.
And it's real time. And that you can post things that are happening. Hey, we got a 4th of July parade, or we got taco trucks coming, or whatever.
Right.
And it's really neighborhood centric.
Right. That's what things are going.
Right. And you didn't have to go to Facebook to figure out what was happening in your neighborhood. Even though
I think I mentioned another app called Peanut or something. I think I downloaded. It was about women centered. It's called Peanut. So see how these apps are like, okay, so this group of women in a certain age, they don't want to be on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, where they might get subject to public attack or whatever. So they make this app where, come on over here. It's a safe space where we talk about this, that, and that. I think there's even another one for like pregnant women, like an app for pregnant, and all. So they don't want to be on Facebook. They don't want to be public anymore.
And there is a lot of fear about, what's going to happen now that a lot of these laws have changed. People are looking for places to go that are safe. On the web to discuss things.
Right. Exactly, because you could be in a Facebook group that's private, but somebody could do, that's how we found stuff in some Facebook groups that people were taking the screenshot because they were talking about this and they would take it out of the group. So, but there's always that issue within the private group. But some people are tired of that, so they don't want to be attacked. They don't want to, feel like they can't say what they have to say. So they're going to these specialized apps. Happening.
Yeah. So micro communities.
Yeah, micro communities around an interest, or in this case with Hank, an age group.
Right.
So you 65 and up or whatever. You don't want to be dealing with the craziness of TikTok. Maybe you don't want that. Dancing teenagers and all the other stuff you see that they think is there, but you have to realize with TikTok you have to tell it what you want and it'll give it to you. So don't. So it
seems like Facebook, at first when Facebook came out, it was niched for the college students.
Right.
And it was college only. And the only way you can get into Facebook is if you attended a college.
Email. You had an email, harvard.edu or whatever.
And so then they opened up the gates to everybody.
Right.
and then
For
tried
the
to serve
money.
everybody. And that wasn't maybe the best thing to do.
They did it for this.
Mhm.
Right. For the money.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that wasn't the best thing to do, but
Right.
now they opened it up and now they've lost their identity. They don't know who they are and they're still trying to figure that out.
Throwing spaghetti on the wall.
Well, I think they really needed to open it up beyond, and it was college community, so it was college students, but as long as you had an EDU address. So I
Right.
was already teaching, but I had one when they first started in 2004, because I had an EDU address. So I'm like, all right, that works. Um, but as the company ages and gets older, they needed to add new audiences beyond the EDU, because at some point you get so far beyond, because when they started, he was like, in college himself, so he could
Yes.
identify with what was going on.
Right.
But as you get older and as the company ages, you get less and less in tune with what college students need and want, or the college community needs and wants. So, and he probably saw a bigger vision beyond that, which
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. But then
Yeah.
you have to know what it is you are. That's the problem.
He doesn't know.
Sorry, Zuckerberg. He doesn't know. I feel sorry for him.
You can tell
Dr.
by this change to meta. That tells you everything you need to know right there. They don't know what they're doing.
Dr. Tachi, are you still open in Clubhouse?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, so that's my last story. So that's your social media news update for the week.
Bless Meta and may they be a blessing to their children. Okay. Oh my goodness. Doc, you're in the house.
yes. I'm in the house, but there was an issue. So the reason I dipped out is because Chrome got wonky and shut out. So it
Oh,
closed everything on my tabs as well. So that's what I've been spending this past amount of time trying to do,
oh
to
my
bring
goodness.
everything back up. Yeah. So
Oh,
can you give me like 2 seconds?
yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
one
yeah.
Yeah,
minute.
Take
check
your
your
So
time.
history.
yeah.
Take your
So
time.
keep
We
talking,
can keep
Terry.
talking about. Okay, so we can keep talking about
Yeah.
Facebook. I mean,
Switch
because
her back. Switch her back.
switch
I'll be
me
back in a
back.
minute. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so switch.
I'll be done in
All
a
right,
minute.
so
Okay.
switch. We talked about. I call it Facebook World, the Death Star. This big thing that and like we said, it grew from from college kids into this big thing where people use it, and it's got. Don't get me wrong. We talk about Facebook. It's not the greatest thing, but they got tools for business owners. If you're a business owner, you definitely want to be on Facebook because people are still there. But you got to
Right.
realize also, if your audience is Gen Z or younger, you don't want to spend a lot of time there. I
Right. And
mean,
I think people don't understand that. And tailoring your marketing message to a different audience. So just because you can whatever you put on Instagram is going to show up on Facebook doesn't
right,
necessarily mean that you want to write the same content.
right.
You the people on TikTok, you need to speak TikTok.
Yeah, you need to know TikTok language, and it's not a whole bunch of long words. It's
It's
text,
not.
think texting, and grammatically correct. No, they're not doing that over there. Okay,
And and
so this is what it. Why is it important? Because you don't want to waste your time. Your time is limited. Your money is limited. So you want to know everybody is. You're not selling to everybody. Everybody's not your customer. Boom, bam, that's dead. Don't do that because you're wasting time. You got to know who are your people. Is it Gen Z? Is it millennials? Is it older millennials? Is it Gen X? Is it boomers? Is it what is it? Then you know where do they hang out. That's where you go. You don't go everywhere because everybody's not your customer.
Mhm.
Gen Z ain't gonna pay attention to you if you're in the baby boomer category. They hate you. And they tell you to your face they hate you online and there's a whole thing going on. So you don't want to waste your time with them because they're not listening. You're not talking their language. You go where the people are hanging out, your group. That's why I like to talk about generations and what they're doing, where they are. Because we figured out YouTube was the #1 app with U.S. adults. YouTube. I think it was like 81%, and then the next one was Facebook. So you got to know all of that so you don't spin your wheels, wasting your time, spending money. Or I'm gonna do ads. Well, that's a whole nother ball of wax. You definitely got to know your audience because you'll be spending money. You'll just be throwing it out the window. So you got to know who your people are, where they are, and like Fran said, the language is important. You can't what you say on Instagram you cannot say on TikTok. What you say on Facebook, you may be able to say on LinkedIn, but you got to change it a little bit. Twitter's a whole nother different ball of wax if you're doing Twitter. So you got to learn the language. That means spending time with the app. Go into I know people, oh, I hate TikTok dance. It's not that. When you go into TikTok and if you see something you don't like, downvote it. If you see something you like, heart it. Get
Mm-hmm.
out of the app, go back in. The stuff you heart will show up.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it does. TikTok wants to
Right.
please you. They
And
want to please you.
and by you doing that, by you playing to your audience. So, say for instance, a lot of your audience is on Facebook and they're buying from you. Where are the people who gave you money? Where do they hang out?
Yeah.
That's where you need to spend the time with those people who bought something from you, paid you for a service. That's where you spend your time with them.
And
The
don't
other
forget
ones
to
you
get
can.
them and don't forget to get them on a list so in case these apps go down, which they do, you can still
Mhm.
talk to them. Go ahead.
Right. And so after you, that doesn't mean you don't have a presence on the other platforms. It just means that you're going to spend the majority of your time writing content for that platform where the people paid you.
Okay.
Right. So
Okay.
that's important to know. I think Dr. Tachi's ready.
Yeah, she says she's ready.
Okay.
Okay, let's put her in the seat.
I am.
Okay.
So yeah, I apologize for that. Or
Ready.
Google
No, it's
actually
okay.
should apologize for that. That's Google's fault.
Bad Google.
So I hope everybody is doing well. Okay, there we go. Okay. I hope everybody is doing well. These are some
Yes.
of the things we talked about on Mediascope. We actually did Mediascope yesterday because I've been having this coughing thing going on. I feel a lot better now.
Oh, good.
So
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say you sound better. You weren't bad yesterday, but you haven't coughed at all, so you're doing good.
oh well, see that's what mute is for. So anyway, but no, I feel a lot better and it's subsiding quite a bit.
Oh, good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I wanted to touch on something that Terry said, and it's interesting when we're talking about Snapchat, who's going to pay. The reason they probably need this $4 is because they've got all these initiatives going on, including this creator fund for Black
Mm-hmm.
creators. And I don't know if you
Mm-hmm.
talked about it, but it came up, and they have a 523 for Black Creators Fund. It opened on the 23rd and it closes August 12th. So if it's for Black creators, so if you're a Black creator and you use Snapchat, excuse me, you may want to apply, and you just go to 523.snap.com/apply. Again, 523.snap.com/apply. And so, since Terry was talking about that, it just
Mm-hmm.
reminded me of this thing. So apply if you're a Snapchat
Okay,
user and
good.
you're Black. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right. Well, so let's talk a little bit about. I'm sure you all heard already the news. This was from a couple of days ago, and it was breaking news on Wednesday that R. Kelly has been sentenced to 30 years
Mm-hmm.
for his debauchery. Um,
Wow.
Now wait a minute, just before you move on. Now, is it doesn't he go doesn't he go in front of another court or judge to do with Chicago? Isn't there more to come? I think, or just
Yeah,
it?
yeah. There's no, no, no. I don't think this is just it. There's more
Okay, okay,
to
right,
come. Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. So but it's is this a win? That's my thing. Whenever these things happen, obviously the court system has found him guilty of all of these things. He waived any state. They asked if he wanted to make any statements, and he did not. at some point you have to know you're just wrong.
Yeah.
You have to know you're just wrong. But I think there's more culpability to be had than just him. He has a whole team that was around him, of which somebody knew that something was going on. There
Mm,
were the
Mhm.
parents of some of these young and families of some of these young ladies, and although they may have tried to, get them away from there's culpability to be had all the way around, not
Yeah.
just him, because
I
these
agree.
types of things happen because people turn a blind eye, or you have people who co-sign
Mhm.
on your rubbish. So
mhm, mhm.
Agreed.
yeah.
Yes, indeedy. Wow.
So that was big news on Wednesday and into yesterday. But moving off of that, let's talk a little bit about what's happening in the Big Easy. If you, as you know, Essence Festival is going on now, and it happens through July 3rd.
Mhm.
So lots of great. I was looking at the lineup for Essence Festival, and I'm like, wow, this is great. And I have never been. Have any of you gone to Essence Fest?
I
No,
have
I
not.
wanted to go. I didn't. I
My
haven't.
daughter has been. Yeah, I've known some people have gone. Yeah.
Well, apparently, especially for a lot of Black women, this is the trip of the summer. Everybody saves their money for Fest because they know it's coming up.
Mhm.
So it's happening now at the Superdome and various places in the vicinity in New Orleans. But maybe you're having a little bit of FOMO. Maybe your money wasn't looking right this year, so you couldn't go to Essence Fest. Maybe you are still afraid of COVID people around you, and you said, hell no, I'm not going to Essence Fest. Well, guess what? You can watch it because
On
it is being streamed on Hulu.
makes
Wow.
sense.
Yes.
Wow.
So Hulu is the exclusive streaming partner
Wow.
for Essence Fest this year, and you're going to be able to watch their panels, etc. And some their performances. I don't know. You're probably not going to be able to watch Janet Jackson. Okay, so don't. She's like the big headliner. So don't get too happy about that.
Oh
But
darn! I want to see her.
I a lot of people do, but apparently the tickets are a premium. I had somebody who is a member of CQ was like she wanted to buy tickets for Janet Jackson, but she said she didn't want to spend any more than $200. To which my
Ooh,
eyes were already bugging out.
ooh,
But apparently they're more than $200.
wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I remember years ago when I was my sister and I, when we both lived in DC, we were gonna go see Sting and Annie Lennox. That would
Mm.
have been a concert of concerts. We said $350 at an
What?
amphitheater. Yes, to go see Sting and Annie Lennox, it was 350. We said, guess we won't be going to see them.
Nope. Nope.
So, so that was years ago, and
Right.
they're pretty good. And Janet Jackson, arguably, is really large,
Yeah.
probably bigger than them. So I
Yeah.
can imagine that we're talking upwards of $500. Now,
I
Mhm.
believe it.
I cannot tell you how much to charge for your talent. You know what you're worth. You charge that. It's up to me to decide whether or not I want to pay it.
And see, the
Exactly.
thing is, she'll get that because
Oh, and she'll get it.
She's
Please,
very popular,
please.
and
I'm
she
sure.
hasn't toured in a while, right? So,
Yes, and I'm,
Exactly.
I'm thinking I don't know how much longer she'll want to tour. She can
right,
tour, but I mean, would she want to?
right,
Right. And she has a young son, that type of thing. So I'm
yeah,
sure she is, yeah. So um I'm sure it's going to be awesome. You've also got people like Kevin Hart that are going to be there. My favorite TJ D Nice and friends, they're all going to be there. You've got a lot of people that are going to be
Can I say
involved.
something real quick? I hate to
Yeah.
interrupt. I
No.
love what happened with D Nice over this pandemic era.
I do
I love
too.
what happened to
What a
him.
blessing.
Didn't
Hmm.
it? He's
It,
at doing the CQ at the Essence Fest. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think I told you all he came here to Miami, and
Yeah.
so yeah, so he did CQ Miami, and those of us that were CQ aficionados, we got together. It was really nice to
Right.
be able to meet people in person because I hadn't met anyone because I hadn't
Right.
gone to any of the CQ events. So it was
Right.
really nice, such a good time to be had. And it's nice because it's performances, it's DJing, music and dancing. It's like the largest party ever.
It's happy. It's
So
a party. And not to say
Yeah,
that he didn't have fans and stuff before, because he did. He was always working. It's just to see the discovery of people who didn't know him. That's what I love.
What
exactly.
I'd like
Go
to
ahead.
throw this in, that because he gave his service
Yes.
during a time when people couldn't go out and enjoy the music like they normally would, he
Mm-hmm.
provided that for
Yep.
people. He
From the
didn't
heart.
ask them for anything. He didn't ask them to cash at me. He didn't ask for any of
Nope.
that.
Nope.
And he
None of
just did
that.
it. And now it's coming back, and people want him to come and do different things. So
Right. That's why I
he did.
love it. I love it.
It is definitely a beautiful Cinderella
This is
story.
what
I like
social
it.
media is supposed to be used for, but unfortunately, we have the bad actors. So the
Right.
bad apples, the criminals, the hackers, the this, the that. So, but this is
And
good.
but
I love it.
I think the good overshadows the because the amount of hackers and bad actors that are there are a handful compared to the millions
Right.
of people that use
Right. But
social
they get
media
the
for
most.
good and
But
for
they get the
enjoyment.
most noise in the
Right.
news. So people, oh, that kind of thing. So
They're just
I
the
love
loudest voices. That's
Yeah.
all. But
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
once when we and there are people working to silence their voices, which is great. But
Good.
yeah, and it's fantastic. So yeah, congrats to everybody that is participating with that. But so just to let you know, maybe you don't have a subscription, or you just somebody said I just canceled my subscription. Well, never fear, there is a 30-day trial. You could use you could get to use Hulu so you can stream the Essence Festival, all the things, and then some more stuff before you cut it off.
Now, one
So
question, because you talked about this yesterday. I went and looked at because I don't have Hulu, and I looked at it. Isn't there like a lot? Do we have to get the live option? It was like $70 or something. I'm like, or do we get the like? Which one do I get the trial on? Because
okay,
it says
that's a
something
good
about live
question.
TV.
Okay, so no, not the I don't know if you want the live TV option, because okay, so this is the thing. The sessions and things are going to be available on demand. So I
Okay.
don't think you have to get the live TV
All right.
option
Good.
for that to
Okay.
work. Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
ran over there yesterday going, ooh, I want to. And I saw something said, well, the live TV Hulu was like 79. I'm like, okay. But
Not
even though I'm
today.
not going to keep it,
Right.
but right.
No. God forbid
So
you
Right.
forget. God
Yeah.
forbid you
Oh, my
forget. And
goodness.
then can you imagine? And then you're like, what? That's all the money I had in the world.
I
And it's
signed up
gone.
for something
So
was $5 and forgot and got mad. I was like, I forgot because I usually put a calendar thing in, or they'll send you an email saying the trial is up. But I'm like, okay, I got to catch it before. No, no,
oh,
no. So,
they're not telling you the trial is up anymore. Well, some
right.
people don't. And
Right.
right.
that whole Hulu thing is kind of like YouTube TV. That's where
Okay.
that live stuff comes in.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right. It's
All right.
yeah, exactly. It's live TV.
Okay.
So like Sling, YouTube, Philo,
Mhm.
all of that. So
The
no, you
on
don't
like
need the live.
okay. Okay, good.
Yeah. So check that
I
out if
still
you're
won't see
interested.
Janet Jackson though.
Right. So if you were
You
doing
know,
it just to
I
see Janet
gotta,
Jackson, I don't think so.
No, I mean they have I'm interested in they have the panels and
Right,
everything.
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so that's still good.
And they probably will allow you to buy a separate concert ticket for the streaming of that show, sort of like Showtime or something.
Probably, and so here's the thing too. If you are interested in actually attending
Mm-hmm.
the Essence Festival, they do have virtual tickets,
Oh,
so you
okay. I didn't
can
know that.
attend virtually if you'd like. What I was trying to do was find out the price, but it's like they make you go through this whole thing before they. I'm like, damn it, just tell me the prices. I
I
don't
hate when
make
they
me
do that.
register and go through things
Yeah,
because yeah, and it's like I may not buy, but then you have
it's
my
annoying.
email and stuff,
Exactly.
even though you already have my email because I used to
Right,
subscribe, but still, that
right.
the point is
See,
that
they
go
don't
ahead.
know what to do with their email list. Oh, okay. All right,
That's
we digressing.
no,
Sorry.
that's okay. So no, it's fine. So if you're interested, not only can you watch things streamed on Hulu and no extra charge to you if you already have Hulu, you could do the 30-day trial if you would like to. You don't need the live TV package, and you can also register for the Essence Festival. I was about to call it the Hulu Fest. You can register for
The Hulu Festival.
you can register for the Essence Festival and get a virtual ticket so you can go to sessions right from the comfort of your own home. Which
Mhm.
actually, this is the first year that they're back since the pandemic. And last year they did it virtually, and you were able to participate. Now, again, if you are in New Orleans, there are just certain things that cost. Of course, the shows, etc., cost, but the festival, the fair and stuff itself, which I think I don't, is it in the convention center or is it in the dome? I don't remember. One of them is free, so you don't have to pay for that. You could go in for free. So
Okay.
yeah, for those of you that are interested in Essence, well, off of Essence and buying tickets and such, onto Netflix. What have they done this time? Well, not much, but they're always doing something. So I have a couple of Netflix related stories. So, in case you were wondering why you have to wait a whole month to watch the rest of Stranger Things, did you know? If you're not a Stranger Things watcher, what they've done is they've dropped the first half of the episodes, then you have to wait a month. Then in August, Stranger Things is coming back with the rest of the episodes. And they've done this to prevent churn. Now, Netflix was a progenitor of dropping episodes the entire season so that you could binge watch, which I love. But from a business
Mhm.
perspective, it may not be that great. So, what they've done now, and I'm okay with that, where you drop a bunch of episodes, you wait, and then you drop the rest of them. It they want to what they're doing. What's happening is they're experiencing churn. Okay, they
Yeah.
are the streamer that has experienced the most amount of churn, meaning people canceling after a certain amount of time, either after a free trial or just canceling after they decide it no longer serves them. So they're
Mm.
experiencing a lot of churn and they're trying to stop that. So the thinking is, well, if I give you this tiny piece of chocolate today, next week I come back and give you another piece of the Hershey bar. So think of the Hershey bar in squares, right? And if those squares of the Hershey bar are, although Hershey is not the best chocolate, I like European chocolate anyway. So, but let's go with Hershey, okay? Since Carolina's from Pennsylvania,
Thank you. I'm
so
right here. I'm 3 miles from Hershey, Pennsylvania.
that's right, that's right, that's right.
Hershey.
So let's go with Hershey. So
Okay.
all in the Hershey bar, it has these little sections, these little
Mhm.
rectangles, right? And if each of those is an episode, think of the her entire Hershey bar as the entire season of a series. And
Mhm.
then what they're doing is they're breaking off each week a piece of the Hershey bar to give you. So you savor it for that entire week and you say to yourself, remember how smoothly that Hershey bar melted in my mouth? That was really good. Let's talk about that. And then before you know it, the next week, here we've got another piece of the Hershey bar for you. And then you could savor that for the entire week. That is the mindset that they want you to get into, which to me is going to be very difficult because you have reared us on the promise of dropping entire seasons.
Exactly.
It's going to be so difficult because it's like it's over. What? Because now when I binge watched the thing about Anna Delvey, right? I binge watched that entire thing. When it was over, I was like, "There's no more." Okay, I sounding like Oliver Twist. I was very hurt, but it's going to be very difficult to get people to accept a week by week schedule when you've already conditioned us to binge watch.
Yes.
So that's basically the crux of why Stranger Things is coming back in a month, and you did not get the entire thing um,
I
together.
thought I thought they just ended the story poorly. I'm like, this is it. Um,
But the
I
whole
thought they
idea
did
with
us
Net,
off.
right? But the whole idea with Netflix is I get to watch it all.
Right, and I thought
That's what
because
she's saying. You're changing the culture.
right, and because I watched it because I'm like, okay, I got a free weekend. Let me watch all of
Right.
Stranger Things, get it out because I wanted to see what this the fourth season, and I thought we were done when we got to the end. I was like, oh, that's a lame ending, but okay,
Mhm.
but it wasn't
Wow.
finished.
Wow.
And I was like, y'all should just leave it like you normally do it and just let us
Yeah.
binge it. Don't be changing up the program after you programmed us.
Yeah, well, exactly. And that could, they already have more problems than one streamer can deal with. This is just compounding it. So
Exactly.
there's new data that has actually showed that Netflix subscribers are more likely to bail on on that service in the
Mm,
first month than subscribers of any of its streaming competitors.
mm,
That's not a
Wow.
good thing.
mhm.
So I think they're trying to stave that off, but I think that's a temporary fix to say, oh, we'll just draw it out. You're just dragging out the inevitable. The fact that somebody would still, if I'm willing to cancel on you in the first month, unless you've
Yeah,
got stellar content, I'm willing to cancel on you after this season is over.
absolutely.
Yep.
So
Right,
it's a temporary fix at best.
right. So let
And
us
I'm
have a
probably,
thought.
if I have fired you once and I come in, I'd go back for a free trial. My free trial is going to span that last day that I can binge watch the series and the first day that you start the second season.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I can go
Exactly.
ahead and
Exactly.
binge watch that if you change your culture back out of protest.
Absolutely. Excuse me. So I know we're
Wow.
coming on time, so I'm just going to
Hmm.
give you the one more story. Well, one and a half more stories on Netflix. So we've been talking about Netflix preparing to crack down on password sharing for a while, but there's a
Hmm.
new study from a firm called Kagan, and they're actually the media research unit of S&P Global Marketing Intelligence. They have a detailed profile um, of the fact that it's going to be difficult. The study is finding that password cracking down on this password sharing is going to be difficult. These are
Hmm.
some of the things they found. Overall, US password sharers have less household income. They use fewer subscription video on demand services on average compared to long term subscribers, according to this online consumer survey, which they conducted in March. So, other key findings of the report is that shared login users on Netflix tend to be younger, with Gen Z at 25% compared to 10% of long term subscribers, while
Okay.
households without children represent a larger share of shared login users at 28% for single and 46% for, excuse me, multiple household adults compared to long term subscribers who are at 24% and 41% respectively. They also found that shared login users also skewed more towards less educated and lower income households, with 36% holding a high school diploma or less and 43% earning less than $50,000. Including Netflix, total service users surveyed used an average of 5 streaming video on demand services. Also, that Netflix users who received the service as a subscriber perk were the
Hmm.
least likely of the Netflix user segments to indicate using several video on demand services. And also, recent subscribers were the most likely to indicate that they would stop using it. So there are a lot of findings in this thing, but all of this really points to the fact that it's going to be difficult to crack down on password sharing. It's going to be difficult in general, but I think they just conducted this to see the likelihood. And it could be seen, especially in lieu of what I just said, it could be seen as a gang up or a crackdown on people who make less money if you do
Hmm.
that type of thing. And that's not a good look for you. So they're
No.
going to have to be very careful with this one.
Mm.
Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the
Agreed.
final thing is, speaking of Netflix, guess who's coming to direct TV at a hotel near you? Netflix. Yay. So DirecTV has added Netflix to hotel video offerings. They've also renewed Hyatt and Marriott deals. So DirecTV Business Solutions renewed their deals with the two hotels, and they're going to deliver their video products, and they're also going to bring Netflix into the in-room entertainment fold, which is actually very cool. I think they're taking a cue from like Airbnbs. I don't know if you've ever stayed at an Airbnb, but often they have Netflix available for you to for your perusal, which is great. And when you went to a hotel, you really didn't always have that available. I've been to some where that is available, but some of the larger ones, not so much. But this
Mm.
one, this is a big thing for Netflix. So they say as millions of Americans hit the road this summer, whether for business or pleasure, it brings me great pride that they will have access to direct TV as part of their guest room entertainment for entertainment experience across destinations near and far, and that includes Netflix. So that's what I will leave you with today, since we're now almost at 1:15.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to miss Netflix because I think
Oh boy.
that's one of the activities that I'm going to curate this month because I haven't been using it, and since I'm out of town, I don't see any reason to keep
So
paying.
Right.
you won't miss it then.
Exactly. Yeah, it was only there for the kids because they had a couple of shows they wanted to see.
I haven't watched it in a while
Mm-mm.
either, so I might be on that boat too.
Hmm. I think it's
But there's
still.
some stuff I wanted to watch before I cancel it.
Yeah, I'd like to see the end of Stranger Things. And then after that, I don't know because some of the other programming, I'm like,
Well, you do have the option, or at least you did have the option to put it on pause, and you could
Oh,
pause
right.
your
I forgot
I
about
like
yeah,
that.
that.
yeah,
No,
Maybe
I
I'll
like
do
the
that.
pause feature. Okay,
yeah.
that now
So
that might work. Put it on pause. Now see if they open that up for people, then they don't lose us completely.
Right.
exactly, that's the thing where you don't have to go through the whole rigmarole of I'm canceling it, because it allows you to put it on pause. I've done that a couple of times where I wasn't going to be
Uh-huh.
around. This was actually before the advent of Netflix Anywhere, but where
Oh.
you were able to put it on pause. So again, I'm sure that option is still there, but check out in your account whether or not you could put it on pause. And that may be something to think about. And then if you really don't see anything coming up, then you can cancel. But at least this gives you a chance to investigate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Mercy, Mr. Mercy. All righty.
Well,
Okay. This is your week in tech history, folks. We want to thank you for your time. Thank you so much. I want to thank our contributors, Dr. Tanchi. Thank you so much. We want people to know that they can find you on the web over there and on Mediascope. And guys, you need to tune in. It is hilarious.
yep.
TJ is here all the way from New York City. We've gone from Florida to New York City. And you can find TJ online at Terry Johnson Online everywhere.
Yep.
We are here. Francine and I are here with the Biz Chicks. We want you to know that we're looking forward to being of service to you. And if you're looking to be a part of the Biz Chicks community, you can simply text 33777 to, you can text biz to 33777 and become a part of our Heartbeat community, which will bring you into the Biz Chicks community. Thank you so much. You can also reach us through bizchicks.net. So, with all being said and done, we want to thank you for your time. We hope we've been informative, educational, and be warm and fuzzy in terms of community. So with that, we want to remind you it's okay to be successful in your business and go to the front of your own line. We'll see you Monday for coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations, and first Monday with the Biz Chicks. Have a great day.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Bye-bye.